Well, hello, hola, bonjour, ohio, ni hao, guten tag, and ciao. One last time for 2016. My name is Isaac Rosenthal. Thank you so much for joining us tonight for this Lane United Football Club action. The Reds at home, as we said, one last time tonight, hosting the rival Washington Crossfire. And we'll start by getting the table set for you with the PDL Northwest Division standings on this last game day of the season. Sounders FC U23 up top, Calgary Foothills right behind them, level on points with 24. So the Northwest Division to play for up north tonight. Just underneath that, the Crossfire will enter in third place with 17 points. The Reds right behind them with 15. Kitsap trails then with 14. Victoria also with 14. Rounding it out is the Timbers U23s with 10. And let's take a look at what these two teams have done with each other this season. It's been two draws, both of them up north. Last year, though, the home team won each game, including a 2-0 win for the Reds at the high point of their season. May have been the most complete game of the year for Lane United last year. The two draws, though, this year was a scoreless draw on June 5th, and then a month later, a 1-1 draw. The goal scorers in that one, Riggs Lennon for Lane United, he will start, and Junior Sanchez for the Crossfire. And the July 5th affair, as always seems to be the case when these two teams played, had lots and lots of, let's say lots of data points to that story. In this game, it was Michael Baija for the Reds picking up two quick yellow cards in about 3 or 4 minutes succession at the end of the first half. The Reds leading 1-0 at the time, and then had to hold on for dear life. Ended up with the draw out of that one. And these teams have seen lots of cards all the time when they play. 3 cards total in that game on June 5th, and we've seen yellows, we've seen reds. I think the record for cards in games between these two teams was 5 total. So you get the idea. Not fans of each other, and tonight we would expect that to be no exception. If you missed it when we started with those standings, these two teams are right next to each other at third and fourth place. 3 points for the Reds tonight would leapfrog them into third. That would be the best finish for Lane United since they've joined the PDL. The other thing at stake, though, and this may be even bigger than third place in the standings, is what third place in the standings would mean. One of the top 2 teams in this division will be the Calgary Foothills, who, yes, you gathered, are from Calgary. That would be a Canadian city. Generally speaking, in the Northwest Division, the top 2 U.S. finishers get a U.S. Open Cup berth. So 3 points for the Reds tonight may very well mean, we don't know for sure, but based on how things generally go, 3 points for the Reds tonight would mean a U.S. Open Cup berth in 2017 for the Reds, continuing the theme of breaking new ground and flying to new heights. And that's what it's been about for John Gallis' squad this season. The year started with a 1-0 win in Portland against the Timbers U23s. Goal coming there about 10 minutes into the game, and then the defense took over, and that defense has been the story for Lane United this year. An outstanding goalkeeping duo. What a luxury for John Gallis to have Luis Barraza and Ben Willis. It's not a 1 and a 2, it's a 1 and a 1A, if you will. Tonight it's Luis Barraza that will get the start in this all-important game. The Reds defensively, one of the best defensive teams, in fact, on goals, tied for the best defensive team in the Northwest Division. 13 goals allowed in 13 games this year. Only 3 of those goals have been conceded at home, one of those in a 3-1 win. Getting back to things for Lane United again, that defense is going to have to play a big role again tonight, but maybe some more offense coming up, a slightly more offensive lineup than we're used to seeing from John Gallis, but he's played this the last couple of games up north that we didn't get to see. The way he has it laid out, it's a 4-3-3, although some of the discussion on Press Row is it might morph into a lot of different things. The real factors are going to be what happens with the 2 wing players up top. It's Isma Fernandez and Joel Reedstrand in those positions. And at this time, we are going to follow along with the crowd and observe a moment of silence after the attacks on Bastille Day in Nice. We will kick it right now to one word from our sponsor, and we'll be back with you for the beginning of the game.
We're not willing to make that.
Well, the ball is at the center circle, or the center O, as the reality will be today. You'll notice the very different venue from what we've seen for the rest of the season. Man United at Pape Field today at the University of Oregon in the shadow of Autzen Stadium. And great facility here. The dimensions, if you're wondering, 75 yards wide and 120 yards long, and one enormous O at midfield. In charge of things tonight, the center referee will be Wale Animashan, Kristen Patterson, and J.J. Blodgett. The linesman, the fourth official, will be Andrew Brooks. All time, 6 meetings between these two teams. Lane United have scored 6 goals with 1 win. The Crossfire, 7 goals with 2 wins. The rest of those games tied. At home, Lane United, 1 win, 3 goals. And the Crossfire, when they play in the Eugene-Springfield area, have yet to win. They have put the ball in the back of the net one time in a 1-1 tie. We will get you set with the starting lineups for Lane United. We mentioned Luis Barraza in goal, John Stadler and Stefan Tomasevich, the center back. A little bit different there, no Legros tonight. Jose Carlos Terron and Akeem Ward, the fullbacks, and then things get a little bit move around in the midfield, we'll say, but the way it's lined up for us is a 3 in the midfield and 3 more up front. Michael Baija playing the holding midfield, Casey Chubb-Fertal and Vicente Mora just above him, and then Isma Fernandez, Riggs Lennon, and Joel Reedstrand up front. And again, we'll keep an eye on how those 3 play up there. And we've got the whistle, and we are underway. So The Reds will move to the left of the field for the fans to start off. Touch for Chubb for Tall. Lane United, of course, in red tonight. Red shorts, red shorts, red shirt, and all black for the Crossfire. And a bit of a stumble from Reedstrand there, but no harm as he's able to get back on it. Into touch, Lane United throw coming up. Still inside the first minute here, very early days and given away there, but dribbled out, and Reds will get to do it again with the throw-in. It's been a season for Lane United where they were really within at least shouting distance of the top of the division for most of the year. Things started to turn a little bit, really, as soon as the Reds got as close as they would get. A first place tie, in fact, on points with Calgary Foothills. They dropped the next game to Calgary, and then the real backbreaker was just the gap in play as Hakeem Ward will play forward here. Onside for Reedstrand. Flag still down. Here's Joel into the box, and now the flag comes up. As we said, though, the things turned for Lane United, and it was really the calendar that did it to them. They were 3 points back of first place, and then they had a long break from league action. In that time, they dropped to 8 points back and were never able to quite get back up there. And that included the 1-0 very controversial loss at home to the Portland Timbers. You can read up on that game on the website or watch the replay on YouTube. We will say nothing more of it. Throw in here on the near side for Teron. He'll get it right back. And moving slightly backwards is Lane United. And they'll get another throw here. And now it's Isma Fernandez. Fernandez has some space and has some passing options. They'll go all the way wide for Ward. Reedstrand moves behind him. Ward toward the box for Mora. Mora at the corner of the box trying to get around a few guys. Lays it in. The header's there! And the save made, but good early action. And Saif Karawala able to make the save for the Crossfire. Booted down the pitch for Washington, and now they're trying to move around in the midfield. Stadler will put his foot through it. And now playing out to the wing are the Crossfire in their own half. Trying to get the spacing right. Now they pass up, and a nice touch from our center referee will turn into some possession for Lane United. Reedstrand again. Now back to the middle, slid through. Isma Fernandez trying to run onto that, but attacking minded so far from Lane United. No goals, but one good headed shot and nearly another opportunity for Isma Fernandez. No stranger to taking shots is Isma. That one would have been from much closer range than we're used to seeing him fire. Ward and Reedstrand back for Ward. And still it's Hakeem, very comfortable on the ball, Hakeem Ward. He's played all sorts of positions on the wing for Lane United this season, both as a forward wing and back at the opposite fullback position. And it's been Teron on what will be for us the near side, the south side of the pitch, has been the mainstay at fullback. Free kick coming up here for the hosts. Couple of yard or so in front of the touchline there near the Pac-12 logo. And about 4.5 minutes in, Lane United set to take it. There's the whistle and a low one, and trying to volley is Isma Fernandez. Reds still with some possession. Now the Crossfire take it away, but they're backed up. Not easy for Washington, and now they'll move out a little bit, and this could turn into some danger. Bouncing off the head there of Matthew Popalski. And Crossfire still, and not able to get past him there. Reds re-establishing possession. There's Chubb Fertal, I believe, on the tackle. May have been Baija. Teron forward, and now back to Isma, back for Teron. And Mora's long ball on for Joel Reedstrand. Getting in front of it for the visitors, Julian White. Dangerous moments there, but eventually it's all okay for Lane United. Giveaway will roll back to the back line for the Crossfire, and they'll try to get something started here. Not much attack so far for Washington, but one or two nervous moments. And some sustained attack to start for the Reds. One headed shot on goal, forced an easy but essential save. And Isma Fernandez nearly created another one off of the set piece. Riggs Lennon on it now. Lennon will turn on the Jets, and keeping the ball now for Joel Reedstrand, and he chipped it through. Nothing happening there. Goal kick coming up, Crossfire. Got a whistle from our referee here. He may be going to have a conversation with his fourth official. And the fourth is having some conversation with the Reds bench. And we have the appropriate attire now for all photographers involved. Crossfire will boot it forward here, and good tackle from Teron. Isma now. Forward for Reedstrand. Out of Uppsala, Sweden, Joel Reedstrand. Back for Ward. Ward, one of several Creighton University products on this team for Lane United. Before that, also played with Shattuck St. Mary's, the U.S. Soccer Federation Development Academy. A big name in the world of high school sports across the board is Shattuck St. Mary's. Into the box there, and unable to create anything, and just having to boot it all the way back for Barraza. Luis Barraza himself, a standout college player. Last year as a freshman with Marquette University, named number 33 on the top 100 freshman list put out by TopDrawersSoccer.com. And Ward forward now. Lennon got a touch of that, may come back for Lennon, and now it's Chubb Fertal forward, trying to get to something, and Mora will watch it go out, but it was last off of a Crossfire boot. Corner kick coming up for Lane United. Just past the 9 minutes exactly mark. And already another set piece for the Reds. They had a free kick on the same half of the field. Tried to find Isma Fernandez on the half volley. Shot didn't come through, but did lead to some other danger. Now it comes in and is headed out by the Crossfire. And Ward will watch it go into touch. Another throw coming for Lane United. It'll be Teron to get us back underway. Teron out of Santander, Spain. As Chubb Fertal plays it for Ward. Now it'll come back for Ward. Teron in some space, but it's a bit high for him. does a good job to head it down and keeps it alive for Lane United, and then trying to poke it into the box was Isma Fernandez. Good thought, but it wasn't quite going to happen. Crossfire now get through the midfield, trying to attack that back four. Michael Baja there pressuring now to the middle, and a dangerous cross in, but Reds first to it. Baja's long ball out for Reedstrand. Now they'll slow it down. Lennon to Chubb for Tall. And Stadler for Teron. Long ball, and nearly got the better of the center back there. They had to put it out of play though, did the Crossfire, so another throw in coming. Isma Fernandez now, right on top of the touchline. Trying to take on a few guys, instead he'll slide it back out for Lennon. Knocked out of immediate danger by the Crossfire, but only as far as Akeem Ward. Now for Reedstrand to the middle, and won't find a head, but it's still the Reds' ball. Back to Teron. Teron back to the middle. Back for Ward. Ward at the corner of the box for Reedstrand. Knocked down by Mora, and could have created something, but it was blocked by Crossfire. Stadler will chase that down. Baja's pass intercepted. And it was Paul Rahani defensively for Crossfire. Rahani, one of the leading scorers this season for the visitors. One of 3 with 2 goals as Riggs Lennon shoots from Isma Fernandez territory. The ball up and over. Riggs has been a great addition for Lane United, middle of the season added on. His first game was actually against the Crossfire, came in as a second half substitution, and then had goals in a friendly against South Sound. And hey, here's that team again against the Washington Crossfire, who was the goal scorer in the July 5th 1-1 draw between these two teams. Scored that goal in the 3rd minute of the game. Reds kept that lead for about an hour, but they did have to play the last entire second half and the last few minutes of the first half down a man after Michael Baja saw 2 yellow cards, one right after the other. And again, if you're just joining us, the disciplinary factor tends to always rear its head when these two teams play. They've been on their best behavior so far tonight, but everyone here, both benches know what's at stake. Both of these teams would love that U.S. Open Cup berth. They'd both love to finish 3rd in the division. It is a very tough Northwest division in the PDL, and 3rd, certainly a solid finishing spot. Brief touch there from Tomasevich. We mentioned Stefan playing at the back along with John Stadler today. We've actually seen Tomasevich mostly at forward this year, although on the roster, he is actually listed as both a striker and a center back. Now here's Isma in the box, and good tackle. Great attempt on the back-heeled pass, and was knocked out. What rolls all the way back. Still Lane United in possession. And Stadler does just chase that one, keeps it alive. And he'll beat a few guys, in fact, and now plays it back for Tomasevich. Reedstrand for Ward. 2 guys that cover a lot of ground, and that's really a common theme with this Lane United team. A lot of guys that work very hard. Lennon has it go off his foot into touch for a Crossfire throw-in. Approaching the 1/4 of 1 hour mark. Still no score between your Reds and the Washington Crossfire. Washington will play it back for their keeper as we offer a brief hello to any Crossfire fans who may be watching tonight. We're glad to be able to bring you the stream on a beautiful day here in Eugene from my beautiful facility. Chubb for Tall tries to play it through, and 3 guys around that one for Washington. Stadler with the interception. He'll play it back for Barraza. Goalkeepers have factored into the equation before between these two teams. We have mentioned the red cards, one of those coming last season to the Reds goalkeeper, Chris Lowermore. Not anything you ever really want to happen, have a keeper sent off of all players. Almost turns into 2 sendings off as you have to take an outfield player off to get the backup on, or play an outfield player in goal if things really get to that point. Now Crossfire on the attack, trying to get the centering ball in, and it was blocked. Will come out still the Crossfire with the ball and still just trying to work into the box. It's Hakeem Ward's ball. He can't get the clearance out. Opportunity perhaps for the Crossfire, and little too much going on there, and it's going to be Barraza's goal kick. To the goal kick, ball bouncing around in midfield. Now it'll turn into some possession for Lane United. Vicente Mora. Mora out for Reedstrand. Ward streaking behind him. Instead, they'll come back for Lennon, and then they went back to Mora and given away, and there's a whistle and an infraction against the Reds. Several whistles, in fact. Several more. And just a conversation between our center referee and Reedstrand, nothing more. Again, Wale Animashan in charge of proceedings tonight, assisted by Kristen Patterson and JJ Blodgett. Free kick straight into a Lane United head, and the Reds will now try to turn it into something. Isma Fernandez. Mora behind him. Taken away, though, by the Crossfire. And pressuring the keeper was Lane United there. Did enough to force the careless clearance out, and the Reds take the throw in after it bounced over the head of the Crossfire player. Nifty little ball through the legs by Taron there, but didn't amount to anything. Still looked cool. And isn't that half the battle? Crossfire now. Moving forward through Popowski. Popowski on Ward. And Ward's won that battle one more time. Baija forward from Mora. Intercepted by the Crossfire. Getting everyone forward. More or less is Washington now. And then they'll play it through to the box. A great ball forward, but Stadler recovers to get on that one. Header there and a collision at midfield, but all pedestrian. It's the Crossfire with another ball slid out to the wing. Now they'll try and cross it in for a head, and it's the Reds instead on it. Reedstrand knocks it down, plays it back for Ward. Lane United stuck in its own half for the last moment or two. And Reedstrand being pressured, and it's a giveaway again. Another opportunity for Crossfire. Stadler again has to make a tackle and wasn't able to do it. The shot came through, but a fantastic save from Barraza. And we are still scoreless. just south of Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard in Eugene. Hakeem Ward now across the midfield stripe. Gave it to Lennon, got it right back, and may get it back again. Trying to combine with Mora. And Lennon, right in front of the Reds bench. Given away, they may be able to take it back though. And instead, Crossfire will move it along the back line, and Jose Terron trying to poke at that one. Opportunity for Terron. He will slide onto that one to try and get it back out to the wing and buy some time. Wasn't able to, and probably not enough for a foul in that, but he was certainly impacted by the Crossfire defender, and that's what he had to say after. Baja makes the tackle, and now Tomasevich puts a foot on it. Stadler plays it back for Barraza, and aggressive pressure this time from the Crossfire on Luis. And there's a tackle and a half. The foul very rightly called as Reedstrand thrown to the pitch. Not enough for a yellow card. Not much other than a foul for foul's sake in that one from my perspective, but again, as you've heard me say before, I do not have the angle the referee does. Forward for Terron. Terron center to the box and knocked down now. Isma keeps it alive. High boot called against Isma though. And it'll be a free kick for the Crossfire, 23rd minute, no score. Battle for third place and a likely U.S. Open Cup virtual play-in game for the 2017 Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup, which is a great competition. If you're a fan mostly of MLS action, you might not appreciate it as anything other than a blip on your calendar, but those that study the U.S. soccer scene as an entire picture would know what that tournament means to squads in the NASL, what it means to squads in the USL and in the PDL. Get those opportunities to play, even for Lane United to play an NASL or a USL Pro team would be a huge moment for them. And who knows, once you get in a knockout competition, anything can happen. There are miracle runs made at the FA Cup level, of course. And teams have put on significant runs from the lower levels of American soccer in the Open Cup as well. Fernandez now back for Baja, and now it'll just be played across for Akeem Ward. Ward again held on to. Now he'll slide it forward for Isma, and he couldn't control it off his instep. Crossfire trying to play to the middle, and now forward. Another good tackle there, and in fact a great tackle from Terron, able to deflect the ball off of Stephen McDonald, and it's a Reds throw. Terron forward for Mora, and Mora tried to play it forward for Terron. A foot from a Crossfire player in the way, so a throw-in coming for Lane United. Towards McDonald for the Crossfire. Baja got his head to it. Now for Ward. Baja will look up and try and get it for Lennon. Reedstrand in possession for the Reds. Still trying to establish something, but this will just move to the back line for the Crossfire. Now taken away again, though, by Lane United. Reedstrand run into, ref doesn't see much in it. Reds do keep possession, though. And Stadler has to run this one down. Not much pressure on him. And now for Tomasevich. Tomasevich, as we've said, has played both at center back and at striker this year. Scored a couple of nice ones for Lane United. And Baija now back for Chubb for Tall. Back to Tomasevich. And Taron can't catch up with it. Misplayed. And it's the Crossfire to take the throw in. Jeff Collings wearing the number 9 shirt for the visitors in black. McDonald to the middle for the Crossfire, but Tomasevich's boot was there first. Mora keeps it. And now back for the Crossfire. Baija's ball forward for Reedstrand. Reedstrand tries to play the long ball for Lennon, will get it to him, but not able to control it cleanly, and then they'll just play it back to Karawala in goal. Crossfire trying to circulate. Out of the wing, Reedstrand. In defense, Ward sliding in for a very nice tackle and a touch throw in for the visitors. Right in front of the Lane United bench. Opportunities perhaps for the Crossfire. Collings headed down, Stadler, Taron on it. And Taron fell down, then pushed down. Ref didn't see much in it, and it'll come now back for Taron. Isma Fernandez now for Reedstrand, and closing in on the ball. The Crossfire, they take it away again. Baija gets there for the Reds. He'll play it out for Isma. And now Mora. Crossfire trying to set up the attack. They'll play to the center back now. Taken away, Isma Fernandez. Fernandez has a bit of open space to run with it first. Now he'll play the long ball for Lennon. Can he catch up with it? Well, maybe he could have, but before he did, it was played just outside the box by Karawala. Good job to know where he was on the field by the Crossfire keeper. And Baija stops that. Forward for Joel Reedstrand. Reedstrand Isma Fernandez is cut right through, and that's going to be a yellow card. And trying to get him to turn around there and show us a number. The guilty party for the Crossfire. Isma Fernandez is now pulled to his feet. I'm thinking it was Julian White, the number 8 for the Crossfire. Free kick. Not much happening with it. Tyrone moving it back. Tyrone's ball into the box. May fall for Reedstrand, and would have given us quite the highlight on this final game of the season had that one found the top corner. Carawala. Now it is Isma Fernandez, moving just fine after the hard tackle. Stadler across for Tomasevich. Tomasevich to Ward. Ward circles around one guy and then splits two. Only to get it out to Reedstrand, who's run through, and whistle comes. Quick restart from Lane United. Tyrone now. Fernandez moving in behind him. He tried to slip it to him, but they weren't quite on the same page there. Crossfire now. And Alex Roldan. And Reedstrand trying to get the better of his man there, able to take the ball away, back for Akeem Ward. And now Chubb for Tall being hounded, but keeping some possession. Now taken by Crossfire. Long shot through, off the post, it's in. A stunner from the Crossfire. Alex Roldan with an absolutely gorgeous goal. And that will put us at 1-0. Not much else to say about that, but wow. Those of you at home have the luxury of watching that goal a second time. Beautiful finish off the post and in. And could turn to be a very, very, very big goal for the Washington Crossfire. All they need from this game is 1 point for third place in the division and that U.S. Open Cup berth, more than likely. Just the 4th goal the Reds have surrendered at home this year, and the prettiest of the bunch by 1.5 miles. So 1-0 rolled in the score in the 35th minute. And the Crossfire now, fresh off the golazo. Now Tyrone. Mora has that taken away now. Washington again, but Tyrone in front of it. Tyrone for Reedstrand. Back to Baija, back out for Ward. And off the play a little bit. Reedstrand took a tumble and had a shrug for the referee as he got up. Tyrone got in front of that one. Back now for Reedstrand, back to Lennon. Lennon spun around and the Crossfire take the ball away, but poked back out very briefly by Chubb for Tall, only as far as a Crossfire foot. And Tomasevich now back for Ward. They'll slow it down a bit. 37th minute. Stadler trying to play it through, perhaps all the way for Lennon, but a little bit too much on it. And Kerwala will just wait until Isma Fernandez gets close, and he'll pick up the ball and chucks it out to the wing. And Lennon nearly ran onto that one to take it away. Pushing forward are the Crossfire. 1-0 they lead. It'll fall for Baija. Reds trying to get some more offense now. They've got to respond. They know how important this game is. Baija and touched Tomasevich. Now for Ward. Reedstrand. Back for Barraza, 38th minute. Reedstrand and Ward. Ward now to Chubb for Tall, and Mora all the way back to Stadler. Stadler being pressured and making life miserable for him was Matthew Popalski. Got it back to Barraza safely. And now Tomasevich plays the long ball forward, knocked down by Reedstrand, has to turn around though. And that one will go towards Tyrone, but headed forward by the Crossfire. Who wins the race? It's going to be Washington. Joey Parrish got there first, but not able to push the ball up the field. Crossfire still with it in the middle of the park, and that one too far out in front of the midfielder went back for Tyrone, and now the Reds with possession. Baija. Job for Tall for Lennon. Riggs Lennon. Still Riggs Lennon, and the shot out of the facility. Kerwala ready for the goal. Kick has the ball at the edge of the 6-yard box. And back towards Salif, and Reedstrand pressuring him. I'll just slide it to the center back. Chubb for Tall got in the way of that one. Crossfire will do it again on the throw-in. Stadler and Tyrone there for Lane United. Stadler chasing it down. McDonald right on his back. And he clipped him. And the yellow card is out. And will be shown to McDonald. McDonald still having a bit of a conversation, realizes he's not going to win any arguments and will give it up. Stadler dusts himself off and Tyrone ready for the free kick. Plays it very short for Stadler, gets it right back. And then to the middle for Baija. Kind of dangerous there as Roldan nearly ran onto that one, and we've seen what he can do from that part of the field. Ball comes in, McDonald knocks it down and couldn't handle it cleanly. Now the shot through and well wide. Joey Parrish had an opportunity, but he took it pretty quickly. Handful of moments left in this first half. Can't figure we'll have too much stoppage time. 2 minutes or so. Pretty standard first half. 1-0 your score. Very nice goal scored by Roldan in the 35th minute. And perhaps another one for the Crossfire. It's 2-0. Bit careless from the Reds, and Popowski has a shooting opportunity at a range where you want to get shooting opportunities. And as we enter first half stoppage time, it's going to be 2-0. Excuse me, still 44th minute. And the Reds gonna have to figure out a way to get re-motivated here. Can they grab one back at the end of the first half? Isma Fernandez back to Stadler. Stadler back to Tomasevich. And now taken away from Ward. Here's the Crossfire again. Slid toward the middle for Popowski. Now Barraza has a little bit tough of a job to do there. Able to escape. Stadler for Chubb for Tall. Ward. Last minute of regular time in the first half. 2-0 the score. Crossfire with 2 goals in the span of about 8 minutes. And that's where we stand now. A lot to do in the second half for Lane United if they want to salvage anything out of this game. They have had good moments in the first half. You might say before the first goal they had the better of the chances. But wouldn't really matter too much at the moment. Offside called there against the Reds. Caruala with the restart in no hurry. Would not expect to see the Crossfire in much of a hurry for the rest of the evening. Bouncing around off the heads now, Mora. Reedstrand. Back for Baija. Foul there, and another conversation between the Crossfire and our referee. It's Popowski, the second goal scorer. And that one booted way out of play. Throw in for Lane United coming up. Dying moments of the first half. Another throw in for Lane United. Mora. That'll go all the way to the back. Tomasevich will get there. Barraza playing well out of goal. And Stadler trying to play the long ball, but Crossfire got there first. That'll be booted down the field, and Barraza will collect it. Rolls it out for Stadler. Now Baija. Lennon couldn't control it. It's the Crossfire ball again. Now at the wing, played forward. Still a chance for Washington. And Ward with the good tackle to take it away, but then out of play, Crossfire throw. First half stoppage time here. And that will do it for the first half of play. The score 2-0 in favor of the Washington Crossfire. The goals coming from Alex Roldan on an absolute stunner in the 35th minute, and about 8 minutes later, Matthew Popowski makes it 2-0 in favor of the visitors from the north. We will take a quick break here and leave you with a word from the broadcast sponsors. We're not willing to make that Well, as the sun starts to set to the west, falling behind Autzen Stadium, so too is the sun setting on the Lane United season this year. It is the last game of the season and the last half of that game. Going into this game, the Reds needed 3 points to move into third place in the Northwest Division and likely a U.S. Open Cup berth. As it stands, that does not look entirely likely. The Reds did play a very good ball for 30, 35 minutes in that first half. And then it all sort of started to fall apart. A great, absolutely great goal from Alex Roldan from about 35 yards out made it 1-0. Less than 10 minutes later, Popowski sneaks into the box, makes it 2-0. And just like that, the Crossfire have a very comfortable lead. Washington themselves in the same position as the Reds, looking to finish in third place in the Northwest Division and looking to earn a spot in next year's U.S. Open Cup. So even though neither of these teams will win the division, very much a kind of a cup final atmosphere here was a phrase that John Gallus used to describe this game, and we should expect to see a slow game from the Crossfire in the second half. Not much for them to be in a hurry about, as we are now back underway. Would be the first time in the meetings between these teams that a visiting team has won. And that one out of play. Also did see pretty solid amount of cards doled out in that first half, and that is nothing strange when these two teams meet. Roldan plays that to the back, and now Kerwala knocks it forward. Looks like Daley Stevens has come on for Lane United, as has, I think it's just Daley. We will keep an eye on any other substitutions. Baja now. Trying to determine who Stevens was substituted for. We've seen him mostly as a wing role. I think he may have come on for Chubb for Tall. Another shot through and nearly tapped in on the back post. Tomasevich. And now Reedstrand. Teron. Riggs Lennon with the shot from the edge of the box, and Kerwala able to collect that one without too much stress. And I think Riggs maybe wishes he took a different option there. But still a good shot on target. Now an opportunity for the Crossfires. Popowski again, would have been 2 for Popowski, but a good save from Barraza. And Riggs Lennon. Clipped down there was Teron, I believe. And rolled on the guilty party. He'll be lectured at least. And perhaps impressed enough by his goal to not book him is the referee. Can't blame him. It was a great finish. Reedstrand will have the restart. And underway again, Teron for Baja. Now back for Teron. Lennon sliding forward, and good panic defense from Crossfire, but offside as well, so no real harm in it. 50th minute, 2-0 to the visitors from Washington. As we stand right now, Lane United will finish 4th in the PDL Northwest. They may end up dropping to 5th, depending on what happens with Kitsap and Victoria. But that would not be a fair assessment of how the season has gone for the Reds. As we've said, near the top of the division for much of the year, sniffing first place, in fact, tied on points at their highest point of the year with Calgary, and really breaking new ground in year 3 as a franchise. We'll see what year 4 has in store next year, and we'll see where it happens. Maybe here, maybe Willamette, maybe brand new Civic. We shall see. We certainly do encourage you to check out the Eugene Civic Alliance and support it if you can. Would love to see a new facility there in South Eugene capture some of the charm of the old Civic Stadium. Reds chase that down, and it'll be Lane United's ball. Stadler back for Tomasevich. Ward tried to slide it through, but it was taken away by Rahani. Now Mora. Mora, can he slide it forward? Well, Lennon either was off or thought he was off. I think he was probably a step off there. Has not been in the cards for Lane United tonight, and not for lack of effort, certainly. They did great in that first half, had a lot of really strong possession, worked the ball into good spaces, and since the goal from rolled on, it has just kind of not been the same. Reds do a good job, though, of taking it away there. Hakeem Ward. Ward will now turn on the Jets. And Riggs Lennon. Lennon for Isma Fernandez. Fernandez trying to get it back for Ward. Maybe it fell to Reedstrand, but taken away by the Crossfire, and they'll boot it down the pitch. Into touch off of the foot of Poplawski. Guy scores a goal. I can't get his name right till 10 minutes into the second half. Forward now on the wing. Man United, Mora. Forward for Lennon. He does chase it down, but he'll have to slow it around and crossed into the box. Crossfire do just avoid conceding the corner, and it'll be a throw instead. Caterwalla stops it and picks it up. '55th minute, ball headed around in the midfield. Now the Crossfire trying to create an attack. Rolled on forward and trying to create a goal as a passer now was rolled on. Reedstrand back. And Ward to Reedstrand again. Not able to chase it down. Throw in for Crossfire all the way back to Caterwalla. Mora trying to get his head on that one. They come for Isma, but the whistle goes. And we have too many footballs on the field. Caterwalla taking his merry time with it. And Ward. Baija for Riggs Lennon. Lennon forward for Isma. Can he get there? No. Throw in far side from Washington. Baija got there, but it'll go again to the sideline. Now Isma. Now back for Vicente Mora. Shot in and save made. It'll stay in play. Crossed again through. Headed goal! Towards goal. Lunging forward with the head and able to make the desperation save was Caterwalla. And Caterwalla is going to need some help up. That's just kind of the way that the game has gone. Hoyland United. Reds do still have the throw. Still a couple of notches short of the hour mark, so if the Reds can put one in the back of the net here, we will still have very much a football game. Keem Ward now back to Daly Stevens. A lot of speed between those two. Daly crosses it to the middle, intercepted, but it came right back out for Baija. And now goal kick coming again for the Crossfire. That save, about as good as a third goal for the Crossfire. Lunging header forward from Lennon, not quite enough. Stopped again now by Riggs and cleared by the Crossfire. It'll go toward the touchline and now over, but it's Washington's ball, and we'll get a brief whistle with an injured Crossfire behind the play. Just outside of frame, the sun about to disappear behind the Otson facade. Ball bouncing around, and now Crossfire moving forward. Poplawski, not Popowski, with the touch. Reed Strand. Towards Daly Stevens. Stevens, little too fancy. And collision there, referee will play advantage. And chipped out of play. But we've got a whistle and a substitution. And we'll see if there's anything to Reed Strand here now that we have the stoppage. Doesn't look like it. Substitution only. And Mora on the ball, but going the wrong way. And why not, with enough space for the back heel there towards Isma, and then comes into Reed Strand in the midfield, and the Reds will lose it. Out of play. Corner coming up. Just past the 1 hour mark now, 2-0 still your score. Thanks to a wonder goal from Roldan, a second from Poplawski, and a brilliant save. The highlight so far of the second half from Saif Kerwala. Cross comes in, headed opportunities were there, but came for the Reds. Now a long shot through, and Barraza will watch it roll wide. Akeem Ward for Mora. Back towards Ward, but slid away. And Ward got it back. Played back for Barraza. Look out there, as Luis was pressured on that one by Graham Davidson. Crossfire again, Davidson again. And good tackle, Tomasevich. Big, strong man, number 26. And Reed Strand will neglect to push upfield, instead went back for Tomasevich, who then tries to play it over the top for Stevens, but too much on it. Saif Kerwala perhaps exchanging dinner recommendations with Daly Stevens. Flag goes up. Quickly back underway again. Roldan with some confidence now after that goal, and why wouldn't you? Ward trying to get there, but Crossfire again. They try and get it to the wing. Ball comes in. Shooting opportunity across the face of goal, and then nearly tapped home. Instead, off the concrete wall behind the goal. Reed Strand now back. Daly Stevens with it. Stevens kept it alive. Can Reed Strand save it again? Still on it is Joel. And He's pushed forward. That one's going to be a foul. And the referee has his hand in his pocket. Yellow card there goes against Julian White. The 948th booking in the history between these two teams. And it's 4 and 20, Baja and Reedstrand that were behind the ball, not a Ward. Lane United throw-in. Stefan Tomasevich will exit. Gets a round of applause from the 500 plus in attendance here. And we'll see what rearrangements there may be, or if there are in fact any. Dylan Nino on to replace Tomasevich.
Number 58, Dylan Nino.
Tried to find Eastman. The ball will bounce up into the stands and then right back onto the field. How about that? '66th minute. The Reds are going to mount a comeback. This would be a hell of a time to start it. Barraza, Nino, Ward, and now Daly Stevens. Stevens has it taken away. And then he and Akeem Ward will pressure in defense. It goes off of Akeem's foot, throw in for Crossfire. And the Reds want that football. Referee says no. Couple hundred referees in the stands had a different view of the play. Another foul goes against the Reds, but nothing more than that. Julian White and Roldan to think about the restart. It looks like it's going to be Roldan to knock it towards the box. And it will be Roldan as White slides away from him. They'll have to keep an eye on him. And makes Barraza think about it, and that one nearly swirled down with the wind. Roldan's got the green light from everywhere on the pitch at the moment. Mara back to Ward. Ward for Stevens. And now Baja. Baja, the looping ball forward, and Fernandez was never getting that one. Collected by Kerwala. Now Roldan. Taken away. Now it's Mora. Here's an opportunity for the Reds. Mora. Daly Stevens. Stevens back now. Fernandez, the shot! And it's high from Isma Fernandez. Daly Stevens creating the opportunity there and then moving it across the box. Reds can't control the ball in the midfield. It's the Crossfire on it now. Still moving toward the box is the Crossfire, and now it's taken away by Lane United by Joel Reedstrand with it. Reedstrand will play forward for Riggs Lennon. Lennon unable to get there, and it's headed back. Oh, ho, ho, look out there. Nearly an embarrassing moment for the Crossfire. But Kerwala not victimized. Hakeem Ward, still 21 minutes and then a few moments of stoppage time left in this game and in this season. Hakeem Ward got a paw on that ball there. Rolled on. Good possession for Crossfire. And now they're threatening again. Spread the Reds out, and then they'll go back to the opposite side. Rolled on, chips forward, and may break for another Crossfire chance. Instead, though, Joel Reedstrand able to get there. Well, Reedstrand must have fallen there. He pushes the ball out. He didn't like it. He thought he was fouled. Pushed the ball out of the hand before the throw in there, the Crossfire player, and probably lucky to escape really without a booking for that.
Don't talk to the player. Watch the game. Watch the game, sideliner.
Julian White waiting to be told he's allowed to throw it in. Now he will be. And White trying to get around some guys, may fall again for the Crossfire. They're through, and the shot wide there. And bodies flying everywhere. It's the Reds throw. I'll get the restart here. Riggs Lennon forward, and became a little awkward for Kerwala, but he's able to put the boot through it. Ward for Stevens, back to Reedstrand. And White. Footer rolled on and on. Back to White. Bouncing around again. Here come the Crossfire. Bailey Letterman. Corner coming.
Navigating difficult facing cases, simple and uncomplicated. For more information about services provided, visit forgeavocado.com.
73rd minute. Corner came in, Ward booted it away, and now Reedstrand, with the stroke of luck, has it fall to him. Pushing forward, but just not able to get a sustained attack, knocked to the back. It will be the Reds' throw, but first a substitution coming. Baija will exit. And looks very much like Armando Fio.
Armando Fijo.
Hakeem Ward. Fans wanted Ward to take the shot. Instead, it came for Lennon. Now Daley Stevens. Back to Fio. And back to Daly. Back to Armando. Vicente Mora. Ward now. Reedstrand, is it for Isma? Still Reedstrand. And Reedstrand will just kind of chuck it forward. Kerwala makes the easy save. '75th minute. Quarter of an hour left in the season for Lane United. Is there a miracle in it for the Reds? Down 2-0 at Pape Field. Peraza to Nino. Nino for Fio, and got it to Isma, but taken away. Mora to Reedstrand. Reedstrand for Daly Stevens, and just keeping it alive are the Crossfire, only in time to clear it still in front of the Lane United bench. Reedstrand back for Lennon. Daly Stevens now. Stevens to Lennon. Lennon earns the corner. First set piece in a solid few moments for Lane United. Have not seen too much from set pieces from Lane United this year. That one headed away. Stevens has to keep it alive, and headed forward again by Crossfire. Whistle goes against Washington. Whistle comes. Lennon's ball into the box. Stevens got a head to it, and another great save on the second opportunity there. Kerwala's been Johnny on the spot every time today. '78th minute. Reds need 3 goals for third place in these last few minutes. Doesn't look likely, but stranger things have happened. Isma Fernandez. Looping ball in and forced a save. And that's still moderate range for Isma Fernandez. Luis Barraza inside the midfield circle. That ball comes in, and we'll get back out now for Reedstrand. Reedstrand tries to chip it in. Headed away and has to be headed for a corner. So more build-up, more pressure here from Lane United. Again, very tough ask for them to get much out of this game, but one play at a time. Isma will take the corner. Lennon got a head to it, and he got the foot on the ball inside the box, but not able to knock it home. 79th minute now. Well, we've got a moment. Want to make sure that I take care of what I got to do. Some thank yous to everyone that has helped with the broadcast this season. Carly DeMannet, the media coordinator, Galen Kepix, my producer, Chris Burke, the live tweeter and our resident rules expert, my color commentator for much of the year, but not the last two games, has been Inaki Gonzalo. Graham Hatton, Addison Prentice have split camera duties, and of course, thanks to both Gallus brothers, everything that they do to make this franchise run. It takes a village to run a minor league sports team. As Tyrone plays that back for Barraza. And to thank you to each and every one of you fans make this happen as well. Hakeem Ward. Now Fernandez and Fio again, two Crossfire players take each other out of the play. Armando Fio, some nifty dribbling, but nothing else, and throw in for Lane United. Quite the sound it made when those two Crossfire players hit each other. As Hakeem Ward's throw in for Armando Fio. Fio, good job to get it back to Ward from one knee, and then Mora played it to the middle. Reedstrand. Back for Ward. Nino trying to go for the slide tackle there, missed it. It's going to be a throw in for Crossfire. Inside the last 10 minutes. Stadler will shield that one away. Barraza able to get on it, and Luis will throw it up the pitch for Daly Stevens. Little too fancy there, and Fio does keep it alive. Isma Fernandez. Back towards Fio. Reedstrand. Being instructed by the fans to shoot from 45 yards. Stadler had that go off him, and more Crossfire players in that direction than red shirts. Never a good sign. Crossfire still. That's the foul. That's the PK. Stadler had a handful of jersey and had one play to make. So leading 2-0 in the last 10 minutes. The Crossfire about to take a PK here. The icing on the cake for Washington if they can put this one home. It is Rohani standing 12 yards out at the penalty O, as we have at Pape Field. And he puts it home. Roland in the 35th, Poplawski in the 44th, and Rahani in the 84th, and it's 3-0 Crossfire. By themselves tonight, the Crossfire have scored as many goals against Lane United as the Reds have allowed at home this year. And that really is the story. We'll have another substitution for the Crossfire. At this point, I think they can be written in pen in third place in the Northwest Division. And we wish them good fortune in next year's U.S. Open Cup. Can only make the Northwest Division look good. Maybe 3 spots for a single PDL division if it's a very well thought of division, as the Northwest is. Not too likely to happen this year. May have more to do with playoff seedings. There's the Southwest involved as well. It'll be U.S. Soccer's choices at the end of the day. Five minutes left in this one, and then a formality of stoppage time. Reds did well the first 35 minutes or so of this game before Roldan scored from 35 yards out, and from that point, it's been all Crossfire. Another substitution or two for the Reds here. Reedstrand will leave. Akeem Ward will leave. But you can catch Ward and Reedstrand again next season at Creighton University. Teammates for the Blue Jays.
Ladies and gentlemen, some substitutions for the NFC. Coming in for number 20, Joel Reedstrand, and number 5, Akeem Ward, is number 15, Aiden Johnson, and number 20,
And Jason Eng and Aiden Johnson, the replacements for Ward and Reedstrand. Very good season of work for Messrs. Ward and Reedstrand. Had a play throw in Crossfire. And that one will be Barraza's goal kick. 87th minute. And somewhere along the way, Alberto Cobos made his way onto the field. We're just going to say that was an 80th minute substitution. Almost to the head of Eng there. Just working through the motions at this point. And go behind the goal of Kerwala, who will call off the ball kid and collect it himself. Julian White not able to keep it alive on the near side. Back for Eng. And Eng to Barraza. Teron, that's to the middle, Kobos, and he got the side of his foot to it, but stop me if you've heard this one before, Kerwala right there. And then Teron, who has had moments of frustration this season, with another one there running in to Paul Rahani. Rahani will take every moment of his time to get up. And Teron will receive the yellow card. Once again, I would like to thank each and every one of you for joining us this season. If you've come out to games to watch Lane United play that way, thank you for that as well. And a thank you to Carly, Galen, Christy Naki, Graham, and Addison for all their help making the broadcast happen. We will see you next year. We don't know where it will be next year, but we certainly hope it will be at Civic Stadium. If you would like to help make that happen, go ahead and check out EugeneCivicAlliance.org. Learn all about what you can do to help build what is going to be a great, great place for community and youth sports in Eugene. We just have the final paperwork to sort out here, and a second yellow card and subsequent red shown to Teron. So his season will end by way of the sending off. Did not see the second infraction, may have just been something said. But I promised you at the beginning, there will be cards when these teams play. A history, in fact, of 2 yellows in quick succession, even, in this fixture. And anybody's guess how much more time we have in this one. The story is written, printed, and signed at this point. 3-0 the score for Crossfire. They will hold on to that third place spot in the Northwest Division. The only teams that could catch them on points would be Kitsap or Victoria. Maybe hard. Well, we'll see what happens on goal difference if that happens, but 3 big ones for the Crossfire tonight, and all but assured of that third place finish. It's not over yet, though. Still a few moments, and the Crossfire may add more. Ball at the box. Washington does have a man advantage. And a foul called there against the Crossfire. Reds will get the free kick, but it may be the last kick of the season. Can't imagine too much stoppage time in this one. Back underway. Crossfire with it again in the middle of the field. Johnson in defense, and then Stevens back for Aiden Johnson. Dylan Ang. Jason Ang. Isma Fernandez and Fio combining to keep it alive there. Johnson. Mora. Tried to get it to Kobos, not happening. And Kerwala. That ball has been all his. He's just shared it with his teammates at other times. Puts the foot through it. There's the whistles, and that will do it for 2016 for Lane United. A frustrating end to the season, but to put the bow on the campaign, this really was a year where the Reds broke new ground. They sniffed first place. They were at or near the top of the league for much of the season, and they had everything to play for on this last game of the season. And the fact even that the season can end with a frustrating feel is a step up. It's a step in the maturation of this club. It's been little bit movements forward each year, and there is many, many more years in store for Lane United. We will leave you with one last word from our sponsor. Thank you so much for listening tonight and all season long. My name has been and still is Isaac Rosenthal. Have an excellent rest of your night.
We're not willing to make that.
Thanks all year, man.